Irene Blaskowski, N335 Tamarack Road. I just wanted to make a comment. So in other words, if my house is worth $300,000, I'll be paying another $183 a year in taxes. Bottom line, correct? Okay. We've been here for 27 years, and I haven't seen the taxes go up very much during that time. And for me, I'm kind of a bottom line person here. We're on a fixed income, and I know everybody's got different financial situations. But for me, it's like a matter of what do you want? Do you want to have roads and things that are taken care of and maybe pay a little bit more right now? Or do you just want to remain status quo and let stuff fall apart and pay more for it later on? It's a matter of what you want. I'm done.
Thank you. So if the exceedance does not pass tonight, is there an anticipation that they would have to meet the needs to do additional borrowing, which we got to pay back anyway, but then we would light money on fire and interest on that.
Let me ask this
So
question.
is it, we can borrow so that we can pay up front a little bit more tax right now, get the full value of that amount, or is it going to force us to probably borrow money for the next year and then pay interest on it, which in my opinion, paying money for interest is lighting money on fire. As a taxpayer, we don't value.
I agree with that, Josh.
So, I'm gonna go out as one single board member. Back to our budget, real quick. I am not speaking for the town board. There's two things that we can cut out of this budget and have no effect, quote unquote, until something happens. Emergency management and the tree service fund. Okay? It's $100,000. We would still be $45,000 short, which means we would have to cut $45,000 worth of something out of this budget. My mind goes to cutting road work because it's something we incur because we decide to, which means $45,000. Roughly, you're going to get about 3.5 miles less roads, crack sealed, chip sealed than what we've got proposed right now. So yes, if the exceedance doesn't get approved, the budget has to be revised, one way, shape, or form. Borrow more and do the same stuff, or do less and still be short and then pick what you're not going to do again.
And potentially have unexpected weather, again, create a hole in the budget that you have to pay for somehow. To your point, we pay now, and we, at some point, whether if we needed to, I'm not saying we wouldn't, if there's unexpected weather, tornadoes again, high winds, whatever, we may be forced to go to debt service. Go ahead.
Dan Johnson, Bluebird Ridge, Palmyra. So on the 600, if you draw the full 600,000, you've drawn 150 or something, right? Anyway, by next year, what's the total interest we'll pay on that? Is it 60,000, 70,000?
Oh, it's 15.
15 total. 15 total.
Oh, if we
Borrow the whole 600.
Yeah, if we borrow the whole 600. So when we went through the budget workshop, again, if you got a crystal ball, let's talk. We had 150, we knew we drew, right? We knew that we had roughly 80 grand we were going to have to draw October, November time for Blue Spring Lake Drive, which left us with the rest of it. So we sat down, we said, okay, well, what are we gonna need money for? Well, the idea was for the rest of that road maintenance. Road maintenance ain't gonna get done until probably May, June. We'll see an invoice June, July, right? So we put that remainder for both Tamarack Road paving and the other scope of road maintenance work in a June draw of 25 and a July draw of 25, figuring we were gonna have invoices to pay. So we ended up drawing the whole 600, but really only paying 60 days worth of interest on a section of it, and 30 days worth of interest on the other part of it. Whole picture changes if you draw all the remainder. What's left? January 1st, because the accrual of interest will go up per diem between then and the first payment due date. So we tried to like put some relative thought behind not only the borrowed amount, but also how it would be drawn if it was gonna be drawn. And again, if interest rates keep doing what they're doing, there's no sense in us drawing 6% if we can get issued 5 or 8. 20 basis points is what it is.
Anybody else? Oh, go ahead, Matt. Go.
Tony Isaacson, W1249 Island Road. I was just wondering, looking at the roads that you have proposed to be worked on, I'm wondering where Island is on that, or why that wasn't put on that with the drainage problems that it has.
Okay, I'll answer part of that, and I'm sure then Josh will take over. The best shot of getting what they call the ARIP grant, that's the Agricultural Road Improvement Project for the state, the 101 million that's available this round. The best shot with the worst road, with farming on it, weight restrictions, 10-ton bridge culvert restriction down by the Fair Farm, is that road. That's why we tried that. That's our best shot in the township. Now, you go ahead, Josh.
There you are. Island Road, TRIS grant application fall of 27, 2029. So rather than, to Frank's point, going after ARIF money, we could apply in the fall of 27, or shouldn't say we, whoever's standing here in 26 or 7 can decide to apply for funding in the fall of 27, which again, we would get the SMA from the DOT in July-ish of 2028, put it out to bid winter 28, 29, construct 29. If not, I mean, don't take this the wrong way, Island Road's an expensive road to fix because of the way that it is. So we could dump all of our eggs in one basket for 2 years worth of road projects and do Island Road, or kind of schedule it out, see if we can get some grant money, and if we do, pull the trigger and go. So, I'm gonna add one more thing, because I like to talk, I guess. Up at the top of the sheet, right? If I can hold my arm steady, I either need coffee or some food. $791,000, okay? This is sort of a slide from last year and sort of a slide from this budget workshop season. $250,000, if we were to budget that every single year, there's some ups and downs, right? Year number 1, we go in the hole with this 410. That tells you, obviously, what that looks like. But this bottom number is a rolling total, okay? Year number 2, if we do $100,000 worth of road work, we're 10 grand sort of in the hole yet, which means we're still borrowing. The difference between 100 and 150 is kind of that principal payment piece we were talking about a few minutes ago. Same thing in 27, then we go to the good. The year after that, we overspend the budget technically. At the end of 2029, we've got almost $800,000 worth of road work to do. If we get grants. If we don't get grants, we're looking at roughly $2.14 million worth of road work to do on 37 miles of road. This is a big cycle. It will never stop. We've got roads. We can pulverize and turn them to gravel, go north of Highway 8 style, right? But if we want paved roads, we have to maintain them. And situationally, we are in a position where there are a lot of roads we could chip seal, we could double chip seal, and they're gonna look exactly the same in 5 years. They're gonna be back to where they were, because the base of the road either isn't existent. We've got roads in this town that have literally only been chip sealed, ever. There's an 1.5 inches worth of chip seal on top of black dirt. Those roads won't last. If they're cool and you guys are cool with that, then that's where we go. But we are looking at a significant amount of road work. At some point, somebody's gonna have to deal with.
We want to start bringing this township back into somewhat of a better shape. We're trying to save the roads that are savable. Some of them, like Mill Road, isn't even worth looking at. I was down today, I had all I could do to sit in my truck, at 25 mile an hour. Some of them are past it, okay? We're trying to bring infrastructure, or fix it up. Trees are a big problem. We should have budgeted $40,000 a year and took these trees down. The thing that wrecks roads is trees. The canopies over the roads destroy the roads. They can't breathe. They don't get sunlight. Am I correct, Josh? That's what's going on. That's why we have the tree problems. Some of the people wondered why I had them out on Shore Drive. I was getting called from people out there. The garbage company can't get through. I had an Amazon driver meet me by accident. He pulled over at Blue Spring Lake Road that we fixed at H, and I asked him if he had a problem, so I just hit the tree. And the tree hit the top of the truck. It was terrible out there. That's why the whole works got cleared out on Vestal Creek on Shore Drive. We've got to start taking care of the township, people. If you've lived here all your life, you should want to take care of the township. Go ahead. I can't even see who's got their hand up.
June back 175 for County Road 8. So the trees was a significant over budget item. What trees is the town responsible for managing versus the home?
Well, first I'll tell you, anything that goes down the roadway, the sheriff calls me at 1:30 in the morning, which my wife can certainly tell you happened, I don't know how many times. We have to get it removed. Liability.
I want my question answered. Who's responsible? Is it the homeowner that should be paying for the cost, or is it the town?
It depends, doesn't it, if it's in the right of way or whatever the right word is, easement, or if it's actually on the homeowner's property.
Well, I thought the easement was the responsibility of the homeowner. It was only that municipal back body had access to that easement, but it didn't necessarily mean they were responsible for making it.
Most of this stuff that has come down, most of it, not all, has been in the right of way of the road. Okay, there's some roads that they actually planted trees in the, not too far off the pavement. Example, Blue Spring Lake Road, we're responsible for the west side.
I'm asking from a legal perspective, who's responsible?
Well, I can tell you that the township is responsible. If the sheriff's department calls me and tells me that there's a tree laid in a road, it's a hazard, at that point, I'm gonna pick the phone up. Well, most of the time, I get up at 1:30, go look at it, see if I can
From a cost perspective.
At this point, we have to take care of whatever goes down on the roadway because of safety purposes.
What is the value of, like, from the road to, what's the right of way?
Yeah.
6 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet, what is it?
It's typically 66 feet wide.
66 feet wide?
I'll say on a new, I'm air quoting new road, but some of ours are 20. Some of the road right of ways are 20. To answer your question,
Or is it no, you don't know that?
well, I just started with, to answer your question. So, to answer your question, trees are no different than grass, right? Historically, the town, and most communities, towns do, mow off the edge of the road and do tree work off the edge of the road. Okay, not into front yards, but typically, towns mow the roadsides and do tree work along roadsides. The town of Palmyra does not have a special assessment ordinance or the ability to say, we cut this tree down, you now have to pay us. That's not exactly how it works. Towards the middle of the year, end of the summer, whatever it was, we started cutting only off the edge of the road, the pavement, and left the rest. So we did not incur the additional costs of taking it all the way back to a trunk to cut off a lid type of scenario.
Well, assuming responsibility for cost of something and having legal obligations to pay for that and not one and the same thing. So again, I mean, it doesn't seem like we have the answer to whether or not it should be placed back on the homeowner, or if it is and should be the body of people that live in the community's responsibility. That's what I'm getting at.
I will tell you that in prior board meetings, we have discussed in the future, coming up, whatever the future is, next board meeting, whatever, looking into the issue, because we had such a high cost last year, to your exact question, the board has discussed where is it correct for us to go to the homeowner. We don't have all those answers yet, but we are looking at it. Answer your question.
We have
I
talked,
just think it should be investigated. I live
I just said that's what we
I
are.
live in a piece of property, I mean, you know, that we have trees down all the time, and the town nor the county are coming in and hacking up mine. We had to brought a chipper to take care of our own.
So I can tell you for a difference, you live on a platted highway. It's a county,
I understand.
I'm, just so you
I'm just
understand
telling you,
it.
the county's not coming in chipping mine, I do.
Correct, because the 66 or 75 feet that makes up the right-of-way of Highway H does not belong to you at all. I live down the road from you, and I know that in 1978, 84, they came through and they obtained, on my property, 0.04 acres of the front of my property to expand the right-of-way. I don't technically own it at all. It's not my responsibility to maintain at all, because it is the
So then,
county's.
what would be nice to have investigated is that the obligation of the town to continue to do what you've been doing, to exceed $100,000 over the budget that you get?
Is Jay Jaworschnick here tonight? No? Jay-Z, True and Lane? Okay. All of the roads essentially at this point are assumed to be the town's. There was no easement paperwork that said, hey, town of Palmyra, now you have 33 feet and my neighbor gave 33 feet to you. We haven't been able to find it, and the reason I asked if Jay was here is because Jay was trying to get True and Lane deeded to him so that we didn't have to maintain it. We did legal background on it, and sometime between Jesus losing his sandals and this past May, that road appeared. Okay? We don't know when, we don't know who gave it, and there is no paperwork for it. That is very, 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 very common in the town of Palmyra. Parkview Circle is a different scenario. Martin subdivision off of Highway H has a platted road right-of-way similar to Highway H, where there is a strip of land that is only for the town to maintain a roadway. The rest of these, Hanson Lane, Kennedy, Marsh, pick a whole bunch of them, don't have paperwork of who legally is responsible, or quite frankly, the more curious piece of this is what right does the town have to be there anyway? I mean, is there a road there or is it not? Is it a public road or is it a private road? These are a lot of things over since 1848-ish that have come up because of something as simple as a tree falling over. And we have started to look into it, but as you may imagine, that ball of yarn has lots of strings in it. And
Well,
I'm not an attorney.
More than half the amount of money that you are requesting that would have been not spent if it was given back, not spent.
Like what percent of the trees down were emergency takedowns?
let me answer Rob. Rob asked what percent of trees were what?
Right. What percent of what we spent on trees were emergency situations versus us just pruning them back?
I would say about 80% of the calls that I got were trees laying in the roadway called by the sheriff's office. And I'll tell you, we do have bad luck because a good portion of them go down between 4 o'clock Friday afternoon and 7 o'clock Monday morning. You know, I got people in this room that think that I've scheduled tree service on a Saturday. I can tell you one day we had 2 down, one on Zion Road, the sheriff's called me and Nick Daw called me. You know, you're gonna need more than 2 men and a chainsaw. And that one went down on Zion Road, and then 2 hours later I get a call, this huge one went over on Shore Drive. That took them 6 men and women from 9 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night to clear that. That was a $6,000 day. You know, but I got people calling me from Shore Drive. What am I supposed to do? The road's blocked.
We will, going forward, we'll make sure that we take note of this and we'll have further discussions on this and hopefully have more clarities down the road.
We have started to visit it with the attorney.
So, well, a good number of miles of road are in our land. And the way I understand it is, DNR tree falls, too bad, so sad, we gotta clear it. Is that accurate? And then a rough guesstimate of how much of that we have to do.
Well, somebody, get right into this, trees seem to be obviously the issue. Somebody on Young Road in our section between Tamarack and H went around and girdled about 30 trees. You don't know what that means. They took the saw around the bottom of them. They died. So there's like 30 dead trees on that section of road. Who in the world would have done it? It had to be done years ago. So they started tumbling down, and we had to send people out there on Saturdays to clean it up. And then I did schedule some stuff to get done because we knew they were going to come down to get that done. I mean, preventive. We tried to do, you know, some preventative too. Hopefully that answers the question.
So with Northwest Services, who does the tree trimming and so forth, do they give you a plan? Like, I've been at meetings and you say, okay, you have to do mowing. Well, Mark has maintained the right of way in front of our house very well since we've lived there. But when they came through this last time, they chose to go another foot into our little tree blockage area, destroying some small oak trees that have been, you know, there was no need, you know, so who monitors that? It just seems like sometimes they have a blank check, that they just kind of do their own thing out there.
Well, what they're doing
It's very upsetting, you know, I mean, we were like, well, why are we doing it if they
Call us or
It
call
did
them
not.
or anything?
Well, he doesn't want us to call them personally,
Just ask.
but, no, they did not.
People have called them. People have called them
But-
on roads.
You know, the thing is, I just, I know,
I will tell you this. I understand where you're coming from. What's going on? Why is everybody talking here now? What's going on?
We want to vote?
Yeah.
We're not taking votes tonight.
They're wanting to leave and they wanna know if they can vote, they give it to us now.
Right, so are we done with public?
Well, we got 2 things to vote on. Okay, are we,
Is everybody
Are we
okay if we move forward with the vote?
Yes.
now I have. Okay, at this time, I'm closing the public hearing. Public hearing is closed. Now, hear me out, people.
Quiet, everybody, this is important.
Now, this is a meeting of the special town electors meeting. Notice is hereby given of a special town meeting of electors of the town of Palmyra on Thursday, November 14th, 2024. The special town meeting will immediately follow the completion of the public hearing on the proposed 2025 budget, which begins at 6 p.m. at the Palmyra Eagle School, Community Center, 123 Burrow Street, Palmyra, Wisconsin, 53156. The special town meeting of the electors is called pursuant to section 60.12, paragraph 1, sub C of the Wisconsin statutes by the town board for the following purpose. Number 1, to consider adoption of a resolution by the electors and the town meeting endorsing a town Board Resolution 2024-004, which proposes that the town levy exceed the state allowable levy limit under Wisconsin statute 66.0602, specifically a proposed tax levy which would exceed the allowable town tax levy by $145,269 for a total tax levy adjustment of $673 $673,057. Now, it would be a by percent vote of 27.524%. Now, number 2, to approve the 2024 total town levy to be collected in 25 pursuant to Wisconsin statute 60.10, paragraph 1, sub A, by adopting resolution 2024-005, Town of Palmyra electors to adopt the total town tax levy. Voting.
So, just to clarify, again, one more time, the amount, this is the resolution for the green sheet. $145,269 exceedance request. We are requesting to exceed by 27.524%. It is the green sheet. A yes vote allows the town board to collect the additional $145,000. Okay? The second that Frank just read is subject to the result of the first. Okay? If the exceedance is passed, it's the 600 and some change, 670 total town tax levy. If it is denied, the resolution we will hand out says 527,000 and some change. Okay? So the first one is the green sheet. Yes, approves the 145. No, denies it, and it goes to the levy limit worksheet threshold.
So do not turn in the blue one.
Do not turn the blue one, only the green. So you gotta do this.
Any more green? Thank you, everybody.
He took mine.
What's that?
Second call, any more green?
Build the garage.
Third call and last call, any more green?
What's it?
After we get the results. This What's your name, sir?
Josh,
Where do you live?
Parkview Circle.
Got a couple of them here. Are you the one down the road?
Yeah.
Go down to the insurance. Okay, I thought. So I guess we're not building chips.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it sucks. Sure. I hope so, yeah.
So now we can't look on this until
Well, what this next one is about. I was really getting dry in my little speech to begin with. Doesn't quite taste like very good.
Florida. Yeah, their house, they, Milton, yeah, they moved, Burke and Milton to basically destroy all their trees. So all their, luckily they didn't put all their palm trees, everything.
I don't know if they've ever done
They had to spend a lot of money to replace it. They've been shoveling grass and putting in palm trees for the past week.
So when they do it, when I can get in and get out.
Naples.
Oh, with the trailer. I was worried about, it depends what day of the week it is, and if you embrace it or not, you stay home fine. Do it. It's all of a sudden weekends, right? Same thing with the trees hanging over the road.
Yeah, I gotta get that one down by our thing. It's like I'm doing that this winter. That money tree. That's on the dock.
You drive around the subdivision with the trailer, you're trying to get out. There's trees that
Especially in the corner. What? Someone driving? Is that the town?
I always, it's the responsibility of the township to make sure there's, if someone plants a tree next to the road, and it goes straight up from the edge of the road, that's the township or the city, they can come down and cut that down.
Sure.
If your tree's hanging over the road, so it's.
They cut the whole tree out. That's what I always thought.
Well, I used to,
At least cut it back.
yeah, I work for